From WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News this morning.
Right now on Eyewitness News at 5 a.m. and on the Channel 3 streaming app, we're following developing news in Branford, where police believe a body that was found behind a restaurant is connected to a missing East Haven mother. We have the latest coming up just ahead.
And 2 Hartford hotels on the brink of closing due to the pandemic. We'll tell you what it means for hundreds of workers in our state. That's also coming up.
And we start you off with weather and traffic as we do every 10 minutes. Good morning and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Nicole Nalepa.
And I'm Eric Parker. Let's get right over to meteorologist Scott Haney. He is tracking today's forecast. Hello there, sir.
Hello, Mr. Parker. Hello, Miss Nalepa. How are you?
Wonderful.
Great. And
yeah, it's going to be
glowing, by the way.
Well, thank you. I'm just a vision of sherbet this morning. I feel like
or a beak highlighter. But.
Yeah, exactly. 5 o'clock straight up. Hey, let's take a look. 13 days of 90. Eric, this forecast is for you because we're gonna add like 4 to 5 more days to this number within the next 7 days. All right. So now, if we were to end the month of July today, it would be kind of tied for the 5th hottest on record. Last year, I don't know if you remember, but it was the hottest July on record. It was a really hot July last year, and it's turning out to be a really hot July this year. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
What are we doing if we're not trying to break records?
Exactly.
If we're not going to try to break records, we're doing it all wrong.
Amen. So there we go. 2019, the hottest on record. The good news is about today, no storm threat. The storm threat is to our west. You'll notice the green and the yellow colors to the west and southwest New York, so they can keep it. We don't need it here. Our Channel 3 early warning radar scanning the state dry. Good morning, good morning, good morning. West Hartford looking good. Temperatures very comfortable. 61 in Stores, Litchfield at 63. East Hartford a little bit warmer, 67 and 68 in West Haven, but that's pretty typical for this time of morning. We'll take a look at a little time-lapse photography of the University of New Haven on the West Haven campus. We should start to see a little brightening in the sky. There we go. A little brightening in the sky there as the sun is coming up in just about a half an hour. Now, as we move you through the day today, it's going to be very pleasant. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be in the low 80s, partly sunny, very pleasant day today with temperatures again in the low 80s. But I want you to enjoy these temperatures because if you're not a fan of the heat, wait until you see what's coming. Our 3rd official heat wave of 2020 is knocking on our door. 5:02. Caitlin Francis, get ready for the heat.
Okay.
All right. I know you like it medium, but you got to take it hot.
I know. We're going to take it hot, that's for sure. All right. Thanks, Scott. Okay. We had an earlier incident down in the Branford area that is clearing, so maybe some residual delays down there. We are dealing with some road work across the state, though. Let's take you outside, 91, and this is in the Hartford area. You can see the skyline there in the background. Scott and I deal with this on our way into work every single morning. Today was bad. You're right.
Oh.
You can see those crews there. Working, you will have to merge. They're down to 1 lane, so just something to be aware of. It's been causing some delays throughout the morning. I'll monitor that for you. We see delays in the Waterbury area. This is 84 right around the Mixmaster. We see those delays every morning. I'll keep an eye on that for you, but we're delay free. We're incident free right now, and I'll leave you with a beautiful view this morning, 95 by East Street in New Haven. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy Pinpoint Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Okay, thank you. We are following some developing news for you this morning. Later today, we'll learn more about human remains that investigators discovered right behind a restaurant in Branford.
Police have not identified the body, but they say the search is tied to the disappearance of a missing mom from East Haven. Let's get right out to Channel 3's Roger Suzanne, and he is live now from the scene in Branford. And Roger, when can we expect an update from police?
Yeah, good morning, Nicole and Eric. Investigators say right now those human remains are at the medical examiner's office, and we should have an update at some point later today, so certainly stay tuned. Now, this all started last night right around 7 o'clock when state and local police swarmed to a small chunk of grass right behind this dumpster yesterday, and they found a body in what they describe as a shallow grave. Now, again, we want to stress that the remains have not yet been identified, but investigators acknowledge they were led here as they searched for 27-year-old Lisbeth Aliman Popoko. The wife and mother from East Haven vanished more than 2 weeks ago. Now, it was kickstarted really by a phone call made by a child shortly after Elizabeth's 7-year-old daughter woke up from a nap and couldn't find her mom more than 2 weeks ago. She called her dad and contacted police. Then again, last night around 7 o'clock, investigators began searching in the area behind LaMonico's restaurant in Branford, and they discovered human remains buried again in what they describe as a shallow grave. Investigators say they will have an update for us later today. And last night, shortly before the search in Branford, Lisbeth's sister told us the family needs answers because many people rely on Lisbeth's love.
She was a caring mother, dedicated. She was the only thing I had. This feeling is just overwhelming. It's too much.
Just absolutely heartbreaking. Now, we can tell you the search for Lisbeth has become a massive police effort. Branford Police, East Haven Police, State Police, and even the FBI are working to try to find the missing mother and wife, Lisbeth Aliman Papoko. Reporting live in Branford this morning, I'm Roger Suzandan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We turn now to the coronavirus in Connecticut. We begin with the latest numbers here in our state.
In the last day, the state recorded 106 more positive cases. 8 more people have died, and there is 1 more patient in the hospital this morning.
An additional 12,000 tests were performed over the last day. That brings the total number of tests done here in our state since the pandemic started to more than 600,000.
Families across the state are struggling with decisions when it comes to returning to work and child care. Today, lawmakers, parents, and advocates will be urging Congress to pass a bill to help struggling child care companies. Providers will be speaking virtually at 11 this morning to explain how their businesses have been hurting during this pandemic. Fewer kids have been going to daycare in the past few months, and advocates want Congress to pass a $50 billion bailout.
Still ahead this morning.
It'll be a bummer to lose these hotels, man. It really will.
Hundreds of Hartford jobs in jeopardy as 2 downtown hotels say they're on the brink of closing. We'll have more on the impact coronavirus is having on the hotel industry coming up.
5:09. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Let's take you out right now. Show you a futurecast. It's tomorrow's weather today. I don't know what's wrong with me. My voice and my lips are affected. Something's wrong. 7 o'clock. I don't know. 7 o'clock this morning.
Lime green coat and you lost your mind.
But lime green, lost my mind is absolutely right. I got this. You know where I got this?
Where?
Bermuda. On the cruise with my father last year.
It looks very much like a Bermuda.
Yeah, right? Doesn't
That looks like something you buy by mistake in Bermuda.
That's something you buy a mistake in Bermuda. Absolutely.
Do you have palm trees on your tie?
I do. It's the tie I bought with the jacket to match.
Wow.
So Futurecast, we're running it down for you. There's nothing out there. It's going to be a lovely day of weather today with temperatures topping out in the low 80s. Now, I want you to enjoy this because the temperatures are going to be moving up. They're going to be moving up. Do you want a little hint? Yeah. You want a little hint? All right, I'll show it to you. There. All right, that was a little hint. I'll have the full 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit. Caitlin Francis, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you. I like the green.
Thank you.
It's very vibrant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It fits.
It definitely does. Good morning, everybody. We have a little bit of road work going on across the state. Not seeing a ton of delays right now, which is some good news. We've been seeing them sporadically throughout the morning. I'll keep you posted on that. This is a live look outside 91 in the Hartford area going towards Weathersfield. That's the southbound side of 91. All right, we'll move you outside 95 by Long Wharf Drive in New Haven. We're off to a nice start there. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy Pinpoint Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Celebrating the class of 2020 is sponsored by Henkel.
And we continue to celebrate those 2020 grads. This is Sierra Lazon, who is graduating from Bristol Central High School. Congratulations, Sierra.
And let's take a look at another graduate. This is Tamia Chen, graduating from Waterbury Career Academy. Congratulations to all the graduates in the class of 2020. We'll be back right after this.
Did you get my email? We continue our team coverage now on the coronavirus this morning. The economy has been hit hard by shutdowns. We've been hearing about it across the country. Well, in Hartford, hotels are really struggling, and now the city is looking for help.
For more on this story, Caitlin Francis is back now. Tell us what we know, Kate.
All right, Eric, Nicole, two of the most recognizable buildings in the Hartford skyline could be closing. The Hilton and Marriott are dealing with major layoffs. Now the mayor is hoping to look at the impact as if they're small businesses, since the effects extend much deeper into Hartford. The Hartford, Hilton, and Marriott are struggling financially. More than 300 people, from housekeepers, room attendants, managers, and those in food services, have been laid off. And while these two hotels are big-name national chains, the money and people they bring into the Hartford area are reasons Mayor Luke Bronin is looking for help.
There may be a much bigger cost to the state in the years ahead if these facilities end up closing down.
Bronin is hoping that investment could help keep the industry alive more long-term. With coronavirus concerns, events are canceled, a travel quarantine has been imposed, and hospitality and tourism experts say people are generally nervous about staying in hotels. And the effects are being felt by other nearby businesses.
Those are very popular hotels in Hartford. Very, very popular. It'll be a bummer to lose these hotels, man. It really will.
Rodriguez says the business at Bears feeds off of events at the convention center where people would be traveling and staying at the hotels. The governor says he's not crazy about using taxpayer money to subsidize private businesses.
But we'll look broadly at what we can do to make sure that part of town gets going again.
Now, Hartford's not necessarily a vacation destination, so hotels rely on those events. Both hotels are open, but on a limited basis. I'm Caitlin Francis, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kate. Today, workers at Stop & Shop will be speaking out against their company for cutting off additional wages that the company had been paying those workers during the pandemic. Now, on July 4th, Stop & Shop stopped providing a 10% pay bump. They had called it appreciation pay. That extra pay started back on March 20th and helped about 56,000 workers in the Northeast. The workers say their jobs have become dangerous and more physically demanding because of the pandemic. Grocery store workers will be protesting the company's cutting of that extra pay at 1:30 this afternoon at the Stop & Shop in Hamden.
All right, 5:16. We're going to take you out and show you the tally, 13 days of 90-degree heat thus far this year. It is going to get even hotter. Actually, we're going to be experiencing some of the hottest weather of the season. You know, it got to 94 twice this year, and we're expecting to possibly get to 95 Sunday and Monday. So it's going to be a pretty tough weekend. You're going to need to seek out the air conditioners, check in on the elderly neighbors. I'm sure heat advisories are going to be necessary. So let's take a look at the total. Last year, it was a hot month. 2019, 78.2 was the average. That was the hottest month on record since we've been keeping those records back in 1905. He's putting on my jacket. I know it. I can't wear my jacket on the green screen because it keys out. So I have to do my weather jacketless, which is, ooh, that looks pretty good on you. That's a good color.
You're a little bigger size than me. Why'd you take your jacket off, Jeff?
Because that's what happens. You look like the Invisible Man.
Doesn't really match my tie, though.
But it looks good, though. I think it's a good color on you.
It's just a little too long. I've borrowed your jackets before. They're just a little long.
Just a little long in the...
All right, get back to work.
All right, thank you very much. Matching that green is the threat for severe thunderstorms. You'll notice it's to the west of Connecticut during the day today, to the west of Connecticut during the day today. So we don't have to worry about any severe weather during the day. Our Channel 3 early warning dual pole radar scanning the state dry. Good morning, good morning, good morning. West Haven, things are looking good there. We'll take a look at the sky starting to brighten up in West Hartford, where I was dining last night. So a lot of people without masks. It caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, okay, there we go. 66 at Bradley, 68 at Brainerd, 66 in Meriden, 70 in Bridgeport. So the temperatures, they're delightful this morning, but even more importantly, there's no difference between yesterday and today, and yesterday was a pretty delightful start as well. The dew points are what's making all the difference. Look at these numbers in the mid to upper 50s out there this morning. That is just absolutely awesome. Beautiful skyline in Hartford, absolutely gorgeous. Look at New London. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's a good start, and it's going to be a good day. We take a look at Gamble Pavilion there in Stores, looking really good. And as we move through the day today, the temperatures are going to top out close to 80 degrees. By about 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, they will be at 80, 81, 82. So a little bit cooler than average. 85 is the normal high. A little bit cooler than average for the shoreline as well. All right, partly cloudy start. A nice day ahead. And the heat is coming. The heat is coming, so get ready. Daytime highs today climb into the low 80s, partly sunny and pleasant. Sun is up at 5:30, sun sets at 8:23. Now, I want you to get ready because it's going to get hot. It's going to get a little dangerously hot around here with heat indices approaching the 100-degree mark, the century mark, Sunday and Monday. It's going to feel like 100 degrees with the humidity. 95 is the actual temperature for Sunday. 95 is the actual temperature for Monday. Tuesday, 92, and then Wednesday, with showers and thunderstorms expected, that'll cap the temperatures out. We could be flirting with, we're going to be flirting with 90. Whether or not we get there remains to be seen, but at least a 4-day heat wave is knocking on our door. Temperatures along the shoreline are going to be they're going to be warm. They're not going to be as hot as they are going to be inland, but they're going to be warm there as well. 5:19 is now the time. Caitlin Francis standing by with a check of the roads. Kate, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Scott. I know you mentioned making sure that you're checking on your elderly neighbors and pets, yeah, those little kiddos. If you have to work outside too, like a lot of our construction workers, make sure that you're taking frequent breaks, hydrating, finding some shade when possible too. That heat can really just do lots of damage. You don't want to end up sick or worse. So speaking of, we do have lots of overnight road work going on across the state this morning. We're taking a live look outside here, 84 in the Hartford area. You can see we're off to a very nice start, nice and easy going. We're not seeing a ton of company. We are seeing a little bit of a delay depending on where you are because of some of that overnight construction. This is seen from an earlier crash, but you can see some of those cones set up for some road work actually. This is down in Branford, 95 by Main Street. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy Pinpoint Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
It's time to find someone a job. That's the goal of Jobs for CT.
We're connecting people with Connecticut companies that are hiring right now. And today we're telling you about 2 open manager in training positions at Russell Speeder's Car Wash. One is in Avon, another in Milford. You'll be trained to eventually become a general manager who oversees a staff of 20 to 30 workers.
Your focus will be on providing customers with excellent customer service, and you'll be required to file daily, weekly, and monthly reports. Previous experience is not required, but background checks are required of those who apply.
If you're thinking of applying, head to the Channel 3 app for a link to the website to start that process. You can also head to cthires.com to see other positions available with other businesses across Connecticut. We'll be back with today's Bright Spot right after this.
I haven't seen it yet, but like Shawana and everyone are in it too.
Welcome back. Today, we're expecting new weekly jobless numbers from the Department of Labor. At last check, 1.3 million more Americans had filed for unemployment benefits. That's a drop from previous weeks, but would have been a record number just before the pandemic. It comes as concerns spread over jobs as more and more stores are closing their doors.
The Bright Spot, sponsored by Connecticut Lighting Centers.
In today's Bright Spot, one soon-to-be high school senior is spreading kindness through butterflies.
It's part of a service project she started, and it's reaching not just people here in Connecticut, but all over the U.S.
Once COVID started, I wanted to be able to do something for my community, and also just to give thanks to all the people who are still working in this time of uncertainty.
So with the help of some of her classmates, Kyla's idea took flight, and her message of hope landed here with us.
In this envelope, she delivered a beautifully organized care package with donated masks and these handwritten thank you cards.
On our covers of our cards, we have little butterfly mandalas, which is why our name is A Butterfly of Love, because a butterfly is a sign of love and hope, and then a mandala signifies connectedness, and so even though we are apart, we're still connected. I created a website for it, and on the website you can there's a little thing to fill out, and then from there we get an estimated total, and so then I'll go and I'll ask the girls individually. I'll ask them hey, can you make 10 cards for workers at this certain location.
Kyla then drives around to pick up the newly made cards and even vets them before sending them out. To date, A Butterfly of Love has sent out around 3,000 masks and about 1,000 cards. Their comforting messages reach those who are alone, those on the front lines, those who live and work in shelters, grocery store workers, and other essential employees, including us here at Channel 3.
She wrote into us saying, "We appreciate and value everything you and your team have been doing to support all of your viewers during these difficult months. Thank you for your continuous effort to keeping us informed and spreading positivity and happiness to us all."
Knowing that I could do something that probably took me 10 minutes and just brighten their whole day, that just means the world to all of us who are doing this project together.
With today's Bright Spot, I'm Nicole Nalepa.
From WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News this morning.
It is 5:30, and right now on Eyewitness News and on the Channel 3 streaming news app, developing news we're following this morning out of Branford, where police believe a body found may be linked to the search for a missing East Haven mother. Well, the very latest from that scene just ahead.
And two big hotels in the capital city on the verge of closing because of financial issues tied to the pandemic. We'll tell you the steps that could be taken to help save hundreds of jobs in the city. But first, we start you off with weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Take a look at this sunrise right at Walnut Hill Park in New Britain.
Oh, that's New Britain?
Yeah.
Oh, I want you to take a look at Hartford, too.
Oh, okay. Can we take a look at Hartford?
Look at Hartford.
There it is.
Oh, I have goosebumps. I actually do, up and down my whole body.
That's
Isn't that
beautiful.
absolutely stunning?
Yeah.
What a start it is out there. 68. Who got that New Britain shot? Tom? Tom. Thanks, Tom.
Kinsler.
We appreciate that very much. Hartford, good morning, good morning. I could just look at this all morning. It's just absolutely stunning. But we must move on. Let's move on to the temperatures. We have got very comfortable temperatures. Sharon 62, Niantic 64, Madison 65. So the numbers pretty close to where they should be. I want to thank all my weather watchers. Milford, thank you, Keith, 68. Bob in South Windsor at 65, and Eric and Ingrid in Mansfield Center at 60. And not only that, the dew points are in the mid-50s. So partly cloudy to start. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. The temperatures again range between 61 in Chester, which is one of the coolest, 59, excuse me, in 3 locales. Wow. I haven't seen temperatures in the 50s since 1927. Putnam 59, Norwich 59, Groton 59, and more importantly, look at the dew points in the mid to upper 50s. So it is a delightful start, and it's going to be a delightful day today. If you don't like the heat, get out there and enjoy today because it's going to be very comfortable. And the heat is knocking on our door. It is in our forecast. Wait until you see the third heat wave of 2020 knocking on our door. That's coming up in less than 10. 5:31 and a half. Good morning to you, Caitlin Francis.
Good morning to you, Scott Haney. I think I'm going to take your advice and go out today.
Yeah, go out today. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon.
Yeah, that AC is going to get a real workout this weekend, that's for sure, huh? All right. We do have some overnight road work that's still taking place. We're seeing some minor delays in some spots this morning because of it. But right now, here in the Hartford area, 91 by Airport Road, we're off to a nice start. Now, depending on what time you're driving through here, you could get backed up just a little bit. But right now, off to a good start. Okay, here we go. Waterbury, 84, right by the Mixmaster. They've got traffic stopped. They're doing a little bit of work, so we'll keep that monitored for you this morning. I'll have more coming up in the next 10 minutes as weather and traffic continue here every 10 minutes on Eyewitness News. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy Pinpoint Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
It's 5:32, and we're following some developing news this morning. Investigators are working right now to identify human remains that detectives discovered behind a restaurant in Branford. And police say the investigation is tied to a missing mom from East Haven.
Channel 3's Roger Suzanne joins us now live from the scene. Roger, what do we know about this morning?
Good morning, Nicole and Eric. Yeah, police say this phase of the investigation really was kicked off when investigators discovered what they believe to be a shallow grave right behind this dumpster near the parking lot at Lamonaco's restaurant here in Branford. Now, at this point, police have not identified the person whose remains were unearthed here, but they do say that they were led to this spot as they investigated the disappearance of 27-year-old Lisbeth Aliman Popoko, who vanished more than 2 weeks ago. The search began shortly after Lisbeth's 7-year-old daughter woke up from a nap and couldn't find her mom anywhere. Now, she called her dad, who contacted police. Last night, right around 7 o'clock, investigators began searching in the area behind the restaurant, and they discovered human remains again buried in what they describe as a shallow grave a short time later. State and local police are teaming up with the FBI to try and help find Lisbeth, and investigators say they will have an update for us later today. Shortly before that grim discovery was made, we spoke with Lisbeth's father and sister, and as you can imagine, her disappearance has devastated the entire family.
I want to know what happened with my daughter. We're looking for answers. We have too many questions.
She was a baby. The baby now, she's asking me questions. Where's mommy?
Now, right now, those human remains are at the medical examiner's office, and we do want to stress, though, that at this point, they have not been identified. But again, police do expect to have an update for us at some point later today. Reporting live in Branford this morning, I'm Roger Suzanin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Roger, thank you. Meanwhile, the search for a missing teenager from West Hartford continues this morning. 14-year-old Jonathan Adams was last seen Saturday while staying with relatives in Augusta, West Virginia. The Hall High School student had been there since March and was attending school online while staying with family there. His family is now offering a $10,000 reward for any information that can help police to locate him. If you have any information, you should give West Hartford police a call.
We turn now to the coronavirus here in Connecticut. Here are where numbers stand this morning.
Here's the very latest. In the last day, the state recorded 106 more positive cases. 8 more people died of coronavirus. And there is 1 more patient this morning in the hospital.
12,000 additional tests were performed in the last day, which has now brought the total number of tests performed in our state since the pandemic started to over 600,000.
The economy has been hit hard by shutdowns. In Hartford, hotels are really struggling, and now the city is looking for some help.
For more on this story, Channel 3's Caitlin Francis is back. So what can you tell us about this, Caitlin? Pretty unsettling news.
Yeah, so 2 of the most recognizable buildings in the Hartford skyline, you can see them here on the monitor behind me, could be closing. The Hilton and Marriott are dealing with some major layoffs. Now the mayor is hoping to look at the impact as if they're small businesses, since the effects extend deeper into Hartford. The Hartford Hilton and Marriott are struggling financially. More than 300 people, from housekeepers, room attendants, managers, and those in food services, have been laid off. And while these 2 hotels are big-name national chains, the money and people they bring into the Hartford area are reasons Mayor Luke Bronin is looking for help.
There may be a much bigger cost to the state in the years ahead if these facilities end up closing down.
Bronin is hoping that investment could help keep the industry alive more long-term. With coronavirus concerns, events are canceled, a travel quarantine has been imposed, and hospitality and tourism experts say people are generally nervous about staying in hotels. And the effects are being felt by other nearby businesses.
Those are very popular hotels in Hartford. Very, very popular. It'll be a bummer to lose these hotels, man. It really will.
Rodriguez says the business at Bears feeds off of events at the convention center where people would be traveling and staying at the hotels. The governor says he's not crazy about using taxpayer money to subsidize private businesses.
But we'll look.
So what the governor does say is that they're going to look broadly at what they can do to make sure that that part of the city gets going. But Hartford is not necessarily a vacation destination, so hotels do rely on those events. Both hotels are open, though, on a limited basis. I'm Caitlin Francis, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We turn now to New Haven, where city leaders are responding to the recent surge in violence. 4 shootings happened Tuesday night in just a matter of hours. 2 men were killed, and police say some of the shootings were connected. This all comes as the recently approved city budget slashed $4 million in the police department and eliminated 48 vacant positions. But the chief says they're actually increasing patrols and adding additional resources from the FBI and state police. Religious and elected leaders say they want to be part of the solution.
We have to clean up these neighborhoods. We have to really invest in these neighborhoods the way we invest in downtown.
Mayor Justin Elicker spoke yesterday, calling the violence completely unacceptable.
Still ahead this morning, the surge of coronavirus continues across the nation. The steps some major retailers are now taking to limit the spread in some of those hot spots.
Oh, it's time for Throwback Thursday.
Hey, what time is it?
Hey, it's 5:39, time for Throwback Thursday. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah,
Hey.
groovy, right?
Groovy.
Just like your jacket.
And I have no idea what it is. This morning's commercial was sent in by John Piacenti?
Yeah.
Piacentini.
Yep.
John Piacentini, thank you so much. The kid knows how to spruce up a sandwich. Oh, I know which one it is. It's Mason Reese. Check it out.
The other morning I had a talk with Mom. Lunches were getting pretty boring, so I told her about Underwood chicken spread. Now look what she does with our sandwiches. Cranberry sauce and lettuce on chicken spread. Chunky peanut butter and applesauce on this one.
Ugh.
Even made a nifty stuffed tomato salad, like I told her. Mom, you plus Underwood is like having a burgerschmord.
Chunky peanut butter on chicken salad.
What?
Sounds delicious.
Oh, smorgasbord in a can.
Yeah, that was Mason Reese. You remember him? Does anybody remember him?
Who?
Mason Reese.
What else did he do?
He did a lot of commercials, a lot of character acting.
Before 1980?
Yeah, I definitely think
Okay,
so.
yeah, that maybe explains it. But
That's it for this edition of Throwback Thursday. You can send me an email, shaney@wfsb.com, with a suggestion. I'd love to see them all, so send them on in. I will be right back. You're watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News.